Version 3.0 gameplay. I just want to let you all know right now, this is not the reaction. The reaction was done before this. If you want to see my initial reaction, you can check that out. I was dancing, I was vibing. It was really fun. Right now, this is going to be the analytical portion. So we're going to go through looking at what we saw and kind of maybe point out some details that people might have missed. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Hopefully you all enjoy. And as I saw and you noticed from the thumbnail, I think she's an android. I do genuinely think she's an android. I'll explain why as we continue with the video. It basically, there's like a bit of a common thread, sort of a link throughout this entire video that I've noticed. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So first off, character looks amazing. Character looks absolutely amazing. We're going to go, kind of frame by frame with this a little bit. So yeah, get ready to have your mind is blown by all the different details that that I kind of noticed as I was looking through this. So first of all, she looks amazing. Like her design looks really good. Off rip, she's got the halo, which is interesting. The see-through legs, which is also really cool, right? Just in general, just looks really good, really good. The 3D models always deliver, so you get to see like a lot of these details, right? Now, the first thing that I have to acknowledge is this is a broad blade user. You only see the broad blade practically in the first two animations, but it does exist. So, broad blade user for the win. Yes, this is 3.0, everybody. This is 3.0 where broad blades have more range than rectifiers or pistol users. Yeah, this is why broad blades have always been my favorite since time immemorial. I'm a Chung Yun main, was, sort of am, but you get the point. Chung Yun, and then in Wuthering Waves, Augusta, S6 Zani, right? I have S1 Augusta. I'll get S2 eventually. But yeah, broad blades are where the heart is. So yeah, we do have broad blades. Now, there's something really funny, actually, and you can see it right here. So if you all remember in her animations, right? Like in her movements and all that, or in the artwork that they showed of her. In the artwork they showed of her, we had, and this is actually a better picture, she's sitting in this chair. And that was actually what we saw. Let's see. Wuthering Waves. We saw this when she was first, announced. We saw this chair that she's sitting in. And so a lot of people were kind of under this assumption that, oh, yeah, she's in a chair. So as a result, maybe she's going to be like disabled in some way. Honestly, no exact idea about how her legs work, but I think I'm starting to put potential pieces together. So, with that being said, we can see her chair. Here's her chair. It does show up. It might only show up for like a millisecond, but she takes, 0.1 seconds in the chair and her stamina was recovered. So there you go. Yeah, all that to say, one interesting detail right here, you can see her arm is actually like crackling right there, right? And that's going to be a really good detail that we'll talk about a little bit later. Like I said, I think she's an android. That alone is already part of it.
Energy consumption.
And then when she runs, she says energy consumption. Come on now, y'all. There's more though. Now, mind you, I don't want to, like I said, there's a lot of details here. We see this like sun motif, and we also can see in the background these almost like these images that are kind of etched into the stone. And so that's really cool, kind of glyphs, I guess. There's an enemy over here actually in the distance. It's like green sort of thing, and it's slowly moving throughout this whole time. There's also these small enemies right here. It's about 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are like slowly walking up this entire time. So yeah, I don't know if they're enemies or what, to be honest, but they are there. Now we have Lynae. It looks like she's just, her dad's mark is right here. And I thought, like in her artwork, in her artwork, you can actually see these little heel things that she's got going on. You can see it right here. But it's like the heels do hit the ground. The wheel is up here. So I don't know if there's a mode where like she just put them in sport mode and now she can just, you know, like Crocs, she just put them in sport mode and now she can just glide across the ground. But it looks really cool. This girl does everything. She quite literally does everything. When I first saw her, I was like, okay, so how is she a pistol user? She's got the whole arts, you know, spray can thingies. She got a bike. Like, how is that all supposed to work together? Pistols, spray cans, and a bike. Well, boom. There you go. That's how it works. Her design looks really good as well. Very big fan of this design. Genuinely, it's just really good. There we go. Just checking the frames, but yeah, design looks amazing. Very happy with that. Now, like I said, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Well, actually, we'll keep going. Little things on, maybe they're animals or something. I don't know, but they're right there. This right here is crazy, right? Now, if you saw the reaction video, if you saw my reaction video, you know, you saw this was crazy. Music. Now, I think this might be like a sonar casket, sona's casket of some sort. You can see the background. There's a lot of stuff in the background. One of the things that I noticed, there's also a road right here too. And the thing about it is, this is really cool, right? You know, you have the roads. I'm really hoping that this place is very vast. One of the reasons why is because if you look at the, let me see, right, like this place doesn't have flight, right? And I'm gonna be 100% honest, as big as these rock interfaces look, they look way too big to just straight climb up. You know what I mean? So I'm personally thinking, unless the bike has some ability to like go up, you know, like to climb, like anti-gravity, I'm thinking that the places in Lahai might just be very vast because we have the bike, you know, obviously we want to use the bike. So as a result, it might be something where you can use the bike. You're constant, like, because there's like a lot of road to ride on. But in terms of like the verticality, even though visually it'll be vertical, there might not be a lot of opportunities to, unless they have like some other way to go up to scale things. I'm thinking that we're going to be dealing with a very vast area that might be like plains. So it's relatively flat in terms of like traversable area, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world, as long as the stretches with the road, the sides of them are dense or at the very least scenic. I prefer dense. I want there to be enemies. Also, it would be pretty cool if they were like, when we were looking at this on stream, somebody was like, what if it was like, it kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy. They're like, what if we get ambushed on the road? That would be dope too. So that's really cool. This right here, okay? This right here, I'm thinking that this bike is unique to her. Now, not the whole bike, this bike. I think, so right here in the description, PlayStation posted this. It does say that this is the Expedition motorbike, new utility. So it's utility, everybody can use it, right? Everybody can use this utility. However, she might have a special bike that's just like for her. That might be like a thing that's unique to her. This moment right here, when we go into first person, I was like, okay, this is actually really dope. Like, this is really dope. Now, we're going to keep going. There's something I want to point to. Now, obviously, this is kind of crazy with the rings, right? We're back to the ring theories and all this stuff. Rings over here. Listen. Music stops. The motorbike seems to have a radio. Like, I think this was a very intentional. It wasn't just like some background music. They just, you know, Fenrico's Porsche didn't arrive, but her motorcycle did. But I don't think that was just like some accident. I think they quite literally and intentionally decided, hey, let's give, I don't know if it's just for Lynae, I think her name is. I don't know if it's just for her, but the bike seems to have a radio, so that's pretty dope.
I heard something.
Now, this it's like laser umbrella sort of thing is the new enemy. That's really cool. We are underground, and I'm not gonna go spend like too much time with the combat. Like we're gonna spend time with the combat, but I do want to kind of show you all, just like I said, some of the lore implications of the combat. So we'll talk about the combat, but we're not gonna go like, oh, I think this is her forte, or like, yeah, it'll be relatively general. I'm gonna be talking about the details beyond that. But I'm looking in the sky here, and I think this is pretty clear. Like whenever you see mountains in the sky, you're underground. So yeah, we're likely underground. This enemy looks really dope though. We were shown this enemy actually in some of the material that they put out. So you have the attacks right here, right? She's dodging, so forth, so on. And then, you know, she's gonna get close, do her thing, and she flies, which is like, why not, right? Like she just spray paint cans, motorcycle, pistols, got the, you know, skates or wheelies, and she can fly practically. You know, makes sense. Why not?
Don't blink. You'll miss the best
Part. And I love it. She reminds me of Reyes from Valorant, and so I'm down. Now this girl right here, she just stays in the air. And you know, yes, she's air dodging, right? But it almost feels like she just doesn't drop at all. You know, maybe kind of like, you know, a bit. You can see like this arc right here, this little rainbow. I noticed that that's something that happens after Lynae does her charge attack in the air or something like that. Right there, one more, and then she creates this little rainbow bridge. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is kind of crazy. I also noticed it seems like she creates like a ring. Mornye. You see the screen? There's like a thing on the screen while she's attacking. Kind of think about like if you know about Farina in Genshin, she has that sort of thing as well, like a screen effect. Also, I think there's characters in Punching Gray Raven as well who have that screen effect. So yeah, that was pretty dope. And even right here at the top, you can see these like sort of geometric shapes, which kind of makes me think like the enemy's getting attacked from like all different directions. So I'm feeling like there's like a field that Mornye creates, and like anybody inside that field is just getting cooked. Yeah, you can see it a lot easier right here. That's like one end of it. And she's basically like, I'm gonna keep up with the Valorant references here, but it's like Brimstone. She's just calling orbital lasers down, or like Beast. If anybody knows about the older X-Men games from the PlayStation 2 era, Beast would do that, like orbital bombardment. I think it was what it was called. I think that's actually what it was called, orbital bombardment. And I think that was Beast, his ability. But that was a blast from the past for some of y'all, I know. But yeah, now this right here is the crazy part. This is where things start getting creepy to me. Okay, first of all, her eyes light up, right? Which is already kind of screaming like, it's a little bit interesting. It's not like, it's the way they light up almost, like boom. Like it's screaming androidy to me. But what's really crazy, the reason why I said android, is look at her hand. Her hand lights up right here. Like it straight lights up. And normally your tacit mark lights up when you go into your ultimate or your Resonance Liberation. Her hand lights up.
Maximum output.
Maximum output. She talks like a robot, man, or like an android of some sort. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge 3, 2, 1. Impact frames. All right, so yeah, all in all, that is, so we got obviously her legs, that's number one. Number two, we have the fact that her arm seems to get hurt right here.
Energy consumption.
Oh, energy consumption. Our arm is like sparkling and
Energy
shorting out or whatever. You see the symbol. She says energy consumption. So that's 3. Number 4 is that you don't see the tacit mark. Now, mind you, this is a work in progress. It could be something that comes later. So that is something to consider, but I don't know, man. I think it's what's interesting to me is like, is the tacit mark going to light up as well as her arm? Because to be fair, in her stuff, her tacit mark doesn't light up either, but her tacit mark is visible right here. her Tesla mark is visible. So that could just be something where they need to light that up after the fact. But yeah, Mornye's Tesla mark is not visible at all in this. And her Tesla mark is on her legs. So yeah, I don't know. Really interesting. So as we continue, this part right here, challenge, try not to dance. I know it's impossible. But this place is crazy. This place actually, these little creatures kind of remind me of like the whole thing was giving me like Kenna Bridge of Spirits vibes. It was really dope though. I noticed they have halos, and the markings on all of these are actually different. They have different, as you can see, they're actually lighting up now. The markings on all of these are different. This one in particular, shout out to my Everything is Connected lore video. I have a lore playlist. Talked about that many times. But yeah, if you are interested in Wuthering Waves lore, check that out. But yeah, I have a playlist for that. And this little, this one is like the orbital pattern that we keep seeing in the game, right? These cute little creatures, it's all good and dandy until you find out that they have these really big holding cells for humans. Anyway, so very cute creatures, but I just kind of noticed, like I said, they have halos, and so does she. Now, I'm pretty sure that these creatures are likely, even their halos are different now that I notice it too. But we see these glyphs, right? The little rock things. What we're going to see though, and the floor actually shows it very well, this common theme of the reactor drive. And like I said, if you don't know what the reactor drive is, I talked about it in my video when we got the special record, right? Special record video, the real problem with the weather, special record, Lahai Roy explained. My bad. This one right here. Breaking down new region information, Wuthering Waves theory. This is the one that I would encourage you all to check out. So, let's see. So yeah, that one, and with that one, if you saw the special record, you probably saw the reactor drive, and this is similar symbolism to that. You see they kind of turn into like light and then show up right here. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. There we go. This place also kind of reminds me of Tearaway. For those who know that, it's a game from the PlayStation Vita. Yeah, Tearaway was just a whole experience, man. It's kind of like one of those you had to be there type things. But yeah, Tearaway, really really cool game. It was like one of those games you play when you have no games. Like some people definitely got this game. For me, I think it came with the Vita, or it's just like there weren't as many games at the time, at least that I wanted to play. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try Tearaway. But you can see like everything kind of looks like paper in this game. And so this area kind of reminded me of Tearaway. So that was just like a little detail that I figured that I would mention. But yeah, so here we go. The little things, everything in this thing, I'm very interested to see how this is gonna run in general. Phone users, y'all, you all are in my prayers, because rendering all these little things as well as what's gonna come next, the whole world is dancing. Like quite literally the entire world is dancing. Like these things are dancing, the plants are dancing, like you got somebody was like, this like reminds them of Mario Wonder. The even the stairs, they're not dancing, but they're singing. But then these things are dancing. So yeah, have fun rendering all that. Our prayers go out to Koro for optimizing it. But even on these right here, you can see, boom. You can see the symbols, right? You can see the reactor drive symbol everywhere. And the reality of it all is this seems to be the Roya Frostlands. So we learned in the thing earlier, the special record, that the Exostrider comes from the Roya Frostlands. The reactor drive comes from, I do this because of the lore around the reactor drive, and it basically like came from the chest of the Exostrider. So you have the Exostrider. The reactor drive came from the Exo Strider. And this thing right here is also a symbol. I have a feeling that the Exo Strider probably came from this group of creatures, or there's some connection at the very least. And I believe that Sigrika might also have some connection with these creatures. And you can kind of see like this like plant like mechanical stuff going on. I was really happy with this. They brought back the 2D stuff, so that was really cool. You can see like this stuff in the background as well. There's big versions of these things as well, so that's pretty cool. And you can still see like the markings on the stone. And even right here, you can see like the little creatures are still following us. Let's see, right there. You can see them like down there. So they've been following us this whole time. I don't know if this is important or not, but it is something that I noticed. If you see right here, I don't know. It's kind of like a little sun thing, but it's like there's a circle around half of it. I don't know. Could be something, could be nothing. We'll see. And then as we kind of catch up to here, you got that little creature, mimics those. You have this one that looks a little bit different. This feels like Ori and the Blind Forest or something. I don't know. It's like this mixture of sci-fi and sort of fantasy, but still very much sci-fi. Then you have this, right? And once again, mountains are in the sky, so we are still underground. There's some stuff out in the distance. I don't know if this is something we go to or if it's just pretty, something to look at. There's also something over here. It's purple. This looks kind of like, I don't know, like bone structures or something. And then there's some purple stuff over here. I think the big thing, though, to look at is this thing right here. Once again, similar design philosophy to the reactor drive. It's also seemingly holding up whatever this giant structure is. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, you all let me know what you all think. There's a lot of details, just in this little bit. And also, obviously, the gameplay looks awesome. The characters look amazing. I mean, did you really think that Kuro Games was going to put a white haired character, right, in their game and not expect for that character to be overpowered? Like, it's, yeah. So, our broad blade wielding, more, range than any pistol character. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Broad blade wielding, more range than any pistol or rectifier combined character. Just, delivering justice. And I think the last thing that I was going to say too is I kind of wonder, like I said, she has the halo similar to those creatures. I would be curious if she might be something like a hybrid of like a human and a maybe something that these creatures put together based on their own biology of some sort. And maybe that's why she's kind of seems androidy. So yeah, you all let me know what you think in the comments. All right, I got you. Peace.
Hey, you. Do the thing.